Morning everyone. Robbie is my name from the National Heavy Vehicle Regulator. I'm the Manager for Operational Services. We have oversight of the National Roadworthiness Survey for 2021 in collaboration with our agency partners. Just as a background, in 2016 the National Heavy Vehicle Regulator worked with the jurisdictions to execute the National Roadworthiness Baseline Survey. It was the inaugural survey to conduct a review of our national fleet's mechanical health. It was undertaken to establish the national baseline data set. The process entailed a random selection of a predetermined sampling of vehicles to ascertain a set of data that could be extrapolated to give us a national view of a vehicle fleet health. The highlights from the 2016 survey identified that rigid trucks and trailers had the highest percentage of non-compliance across all states. There was also high volumes of major warnings to do with rigid trucks. Rigid vehicles averaged around about 9.9 years of age from the fleet sampling sizes. Semi-trailers non-compliance was high in New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland and Tasmania. The highest non-compliance in road trains was in Queensland, and non-compliance rates across the heavy vehicle fleet in vehicle combinations was around about 70%. 2021, the 2021 survey has been delayed. As people would know, the COVID situation has caused ongoing postponements for a number of activities. We are in a position in the early stages of this year where, in collaboration with our jurisdictional partners, we're able to commence the scheduling and delivery of the National Roadworthiness Survey. The purpose of the survey, again, is to improve national road safety. It's looking at assessment of the mechanical health of the fleet, and we've utilised sampling, as I mentioned earlier. This year, all states and territories have participated in the survey. Heavy vehicle types were divided into states and regions. The establishment of the quotas was designed around states, utilising both a metro and a regional basis for the statistical analysis, and also looking at vehicle types so we could establish a national quota as far as the type of vehicle within the location to give us that national sampling. The survey is conducted over a 12-week period commencing in May, and at the time of presenting this presentation we're in the latter stages of finalising the survey delivery. These stats for the 2021 will be used in comparison for the 2016 survey results to give us some trending around vehicle health and also trending in particular types of vehicles and locations. The results reporting will commence later this year and we'll be in a position in the latter part of this year to provide some details around what the statistics have identified. Forward planning. Industry engagement was a major component in our development of the survey. Media communication strategy was developed, including meetings with industry to identify some lessons learned from past surveys in 2016 to identify what we can do better and what we can improve. And the feedback was undertaken to identify and address industry issues that highlighted in some areas where, as I said, we could improve some of our service delivery and reduce delays for industry. Part of that was identification and construction of a multi-jurisdictional working group with all our jurisdictional partners. The purpose of that working group was to review some of the learnings from 2016 and also identify an ongoing monitoring of our progress and a way in which we can capture issues that are emerging to ensure that we can conduct timely adjustment to any of our processes and practices. The review of the lessons learned identified reducing inspection times, some delays, and improved the timelines of the data capture. COVID-19 continued to play a role, unfortunately, with the survey, and part of that was identifying some contingencies where the COVID impact both metro and regional areas. So that part of the planning was designing ways in which we could have contingencies in place to address some of those changes. Key outcomes. So key outcomes from the 2021 survey is a better understanding of our national vehicles' mechanical health and our safety. identification of risks regarding vehicle types and components. The capture of the data, as I said earlier, is a regional and metro base and across the different types of combinations within our fleet. The data that's captured is a mechanical inspection looked at individual components of vehicles, so we could again collect that data to identify specific types of vehicles and componentry within those vehicles. The data will inform our road safety initiatives and provide input into our risk profiling of vehicle fleet types. So again, it'll give us some information regarding where the risks exist, and again, that information can be passed on to industry and other groups to identify where amendments and changes need to be made. The data will also inform the National Vehicle Inspection Program, so identification of what is working and what may be improved upon from a National Vehicle Inspection Program. The information will also support target compliance activities, which will increase productivity from that regulatory perspective, but also reduce inefficiencies in respect of the intercept or compliance activities where we consider the vehicle to be a low level of risk. There'll be high areas of vehicle safety and regulatory standards, so identifying where we can highlight changes that may be required in relation to some of the standards. It will also support stronger partnerships and knowledge sharing nationally across our agencies. The inspections, the sampling again was based on the 2016 methodology, as I explained earlier. The purpose of that is so we can compare our data from 2016 to 2021, so we can draw some comparisons of any changes. This sampling was based on registration within the jurisdictions, and again, the registration was broken down into metro and regional areas. The level 3 inspection was our classification. So the level 3 inspection identified the use of technical equipment, so roller brake testing and vehicle inspection trailers. So it was a full visual inspection, but also the use of technical equipment to provide information to some of the componentry. Initially, based on 2016 data, we envisaged that the time taken to conduct the inspection would be 45 minutes up to an hour on average, based on the previous data. Roadside device applications used by the officers were crafted to improve the data capture time, so to reduce delays roadside. And also we identified that the componentry was aligned to our National Vehicle Inspection Manual. That's about all I have for this morning. We envisage that the statistics will be collated in the coming weeks as we conclude, and we'll be looking forward to providing that information nationally. I'll now throw it open to any questions.